Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Talk It Out podcast. I'm your host, Alec Lifshos, a.k.a. Trey Busy. It's a very good Tuesday. The weather's great outside, and everyone's enjoying themselves. I want to thank Keith Wise for coming on last Thursday. He came on. He had a great conversation, man. He talked about how he helps out the young men with deciding which way they want to go in their life, and that's very admirable how open he was about his anxiety and the things he went through in his life to become the man he is today. Hey, what's going on? Saw somebody in the chat room pop up. So, before I go too much further, I want to say I'm not alone tonight. For the first time ever, I have not one, not two, but three special guests, all at the same time. I'm welcoming in the Triflin but True crew. Hey, ladies, how you guys doing tonight?
Hey, how are you?
I am blessed. I am blessed to be able to be here today. To be in the position I'm in life, and to only be able to go up from here. So,
yes,
I'm going to go ahead and single you guys out. So, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. I'm going to start with Asia.
What's up, y'all?
So, Asia, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm not really good at talking about myself, but I guess I will try. I am a nurse, if anyone cares to know my career. I was, I guess, part of the mastermind behind how Triflin but True got created. I don't know. What else do you guys want to know? Not really good at that question when you put me on the spot.
Well, I mean, what are you passionate about? Like what made you want to go into nursing? Was it the money? Was it the fact that you wanted to help people? Just that question is a very open question. Just whatever comes to your mind is what people want to hear.
Well, I got into nursing really because I didn't really know what to do. I wanted to be a teacher originally, but then I just kind of was always in hospitals due to like family illnesses and people being sick. And that just kind of sparked my interest. I have a natural interest in the human body. I love to kind of know the chemistry and how things work and why they work the way they do. So that's kind of how I got into nursing. What I do for fun, I love to bake, cook. I have a puppy who I love very much, so I spend a lot of time with her. And then I work on the podcast in my free time.
Very, very, very good. I got to holler at you about that baking thing later on. That sounds very interesting. So going, like I said, in alphabetical order, I'm going to go ahead and go to Jade now.
Hey, y'all. I am Jade. I am 20-something years old. And I currently do digital marketing for a utility here in Chicago. My passion is working with children. I don't currently, so I'm still on a journey to kind of figure out how to incorporate that into my life. So stay tuned. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So we got a nurse, we someone who wants to go in to help the children. Last but not least, what's going on, Lori?
Hey, everybody. Well, not much is going on right now. I am pretty much like the content creator for our podcast, just kind of doing a lot of behind the scenes production and getting things set up as far as like philanthropy and upcoming things for Triflin but True. I graduated from Northern Illinois University. I am also 20-something years old, and Alec is a longtime friend.
Yeah, we've known each other for a good minute. First of all, you guys are all younger than me, so that you guys saying that you're 20-something years old, that's I'm kind of a little triggered by that because most people know how old I am that listen to the show. I want to verbally greet everybody. Everybody keeps saying, "Hey, good people. Hey, how's it going?" I just want to say what's up to everybody before we go too much further. What is going on, everybody? So, I invited you ladies out because obviously you guys are, when it comes to having conversation, I mean, you guys, the authenticity of your show is really, really amazing to hear. There's very, very good chemistry. The topics are very interesting. I sometimes find myself laughing. I feel like these girls are crazy. Yeah, so someone says on 20-something, try 30-something, laugh out loud. Yeah.
It's okay. 30 is the new 20, okay? 30 is the new 20.
That's what they say. So, without further ado, I want to dive right into what the main topic is. I reached out to you guys because I wanted to have a conversation about how social media has steered us towards believing a certain way or a certain look is how beauty is supposed to be. You know, everybody's going out of the way to get these surgeries to make themselves look a certain way. And I mean, to me personally, it's quite sad. For me, I like women that are natural. I believe that there's some type of sort of like some type of mental disorder there, like when you feel like that you have to go to make yourself look a certain way and you can't be accepting of who you are as a person. I'm gonna go reverse. I started with you first, Asia. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Lori. Lori, what are your opinions about, like, you know, when you get on Instagram, you see that these influencers, they all go out of their way to get like certain work done on their bodies to look a certain way. Like, what is your opinions about that? How do you feel about that personally?
So I will say, in the beginning, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought they were beautiful. I was almost considering like, oh my gosh, like I want to, fix myself to look like them. I used to be that. I used to look at them like that, but I truly had to like dig deep inside myself because I realized that the women who do want to look like that or portray that same image, because really it is the same image, are insecure within themselves. And I guess my insecurity came from a lot of like past relationships and things like that. So I thought that is what I needed to look like in order to get what I needed or get what I wanted. And I will say now, to me, it all looks fake. I just can't stomach it now. It's almost like I had to like unfollow them off social media. I can't even look at it. It's just unnatural to me. And I feel sorry for women who still believe that they have to look a certain way to make themselves look beautiful, when in all actuality, they are beautiful just the way they are.
Yeah, our God doesn't make mistakes when He creates you. He makes you a certain way for a reason. It's so funny. I always remember it's a very old stand-up. Okay, it ain't that old, but it's old enough. Cat Williams, he says when
Telling your age.
when we have a big nose, he said we be look in the mirror, dudes be like, oh, we got a big nose, and we just go along, we just leave after that, don't say nothing else about it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I got a big nose, and then just go on about it. You know, it's just funny to me. Like, people need to be a little bit more of accepting of who they are because they were made for a purpose in that that way of looking. Yeah, I mean, it's like at least 1,000 some women on Instagram right now look exactly like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, that's like the standard image. Yeah. The standard image is. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it reminds me like when we go to the barbershop and men go to the barbershop and there's like a picture on the wall. So like when they go to get surgery, there's probably a picture of her on the wall. They're like, yeah, let me get the number one. What were you about to say, Laura?
About the next one.
Oh no, I mean I just feel like the Kim Kardashian is like almost the standard image. That's what a lot of women portray or want to look like. But it's funny because she wants to look exactly like us Black women. She fixed her body to make it so she has voluptuous thighs and voluptuous curves, full lips, things that she's not naturally born with, just to look like us. So I just find it funny.
Yeah, that's very ironic. Shayna says, if love is unconditional, you must first unconditionally love yourself. True enough. That's a very good saying. My mom is here. My mom says, acceptance of yourself is loving yourself, good, bad, and the imperfect parts. Very, very true.
Yeah.
So moving a little bit, I want to ask Jade now before we just take off about it, because I keep talking on and on about it, but I want to see what Jade thinks.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Lori. I think that it also has a lot to do with, obviously, society. So society kind of sets these expectations for women to look a certain way. I mean, sex sells. So they portray these beautiful, what do men call them, like foreign women.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how we look at ourselves. We want to portray ourselves as like these foreign, beautiful women that men want. And really, women do all these things for men majority of the time. Yeah, we have insecurities and lack of confidence, but I think most of the time the root is it's to make men want us.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
So I think that those expectations that society sets is another reason why women feel the need to like change their body and, you know, get fake boobs and lips and all those injections. And
Now,
stuff like
I
that.
have still considered getting some implants now. Because when you be working out, you get skinny and stuff, your boobs go away. And I like my boobs. So that's just me.
Just I heard that you get boobs from having a baby. That's just what I heard. That's what I heard though. Don't shoot me for saying that. That's what I heard. Just
Yeah.
Well,
That's the nurse.
Right. Let's ask the medical professional.
well, you get boobs when you're pregnant, but they could go a little flat when you breastfeed. So
you almost hate
every
to see
woman.
that, man.
But I think that's what makes women so beautiful too. Like our body can just do literally anything.
Yep.
And if that's just us being natural, us being God made. And I think that's what really makes us beautiful.
That's 100% true. I mean, like I said, it's crazy because like it's escalated over the years. Like I mean, when it first started coming up, it wasn't that popular. You know, it was like only certain people do it. You know, like people that are like more famous were the ones that getting the most of the surgery done. But then it became like more commercialized. So I mean, like I said, we have went through 2 of the 3. I want to ask Asia what she thinks before I keep going.
Well, my response is very similar to what you guys have already heard. I will say I used to also like scroll down Instagram and feel like I needed to look like the women I was following but I also had a lot of guys from the past make comments about my body saying, you know, I had small breasts, a small butt. And when you hear that so many times, you start to kind of believe it's true. Because before you hear those negative comments about yourself, you think you look perfectly fine. And then the more you hear those negative comments, you're like, whoa, okay, maybe I really do look weird, or, you know, maybe my butt's not as big as it should be. And then I kind of started to create these insecurities. But now that I'm so much more comfortable and confident in myself, I no longer idolize those body types anymore. And like Lori said, like it looks fake and it just doesn't look natural and it's not attractive to me anymore. Everyone looks the same. And to me, there's no beauty in that.
Nope.
I don't want to look like the next 20,000 girls that all went to the same doctor to get their booty done.
Nope.
So just kind of learning to embrace what I naturally have.
Mm-hmm.
So Miles says men perpetuate these stereotypes. It's going to take real men to stand up and embrace our natural women and give them that confidence again. My mom says the Barbie doll syndrome is plastic and pseudo appearance. So yeah, I mean that's like the whole Barbie doll idea, right? You know, like the whole okay, you gotta look like this, your body has to look like this, and you have to have this and drive this and go like in order to be like, you know, viewed as being attractive or mattering, you know, like someone that matters. Brittany says when they get bot surgeries and enhancements that lead to major health issues or worse. So
that's a
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, hey, look, you guys are the guests. Go ahead.
A lot of women, I know right now the butt is the big thing right now, but I think a lot of people are overlooking this new thing called breast implant illness, where women are like the implants, their bodies are attacking the implants because it's a foreign object that shouldn't be there in the first place. And these women are getting extremely sick, and in some cases they're dying, and they don't even realize it's from their implants. So that just kind of goes to show, like, you really have to do your research and know what you're getting put in your body, because some people's bodies are rejecting that stuff. People who get their fat re-injected into their butt, their butt leaks fat now, you know, like, or they get infections, or it doesn't heal right, so it hardens. Like, there's so many complications. Everyone talks about the good things of plastic surgery, but everyone ignores the negative dark side of it.
So I had no idea that was like a side effect of it, that people were like actually dying from getting their fat redistributed to their ass. I had no idea that was
It's
going on.
actually dangerous surgeries you can get, and a lot of people don't know that. You can get what's called a fat embolism. I know people have heard of like an air embolism. So basically, a little pocket of fat could travel through your veins or arteries and stop your heart or go to your brain. You can have a stroke. So that's actually one of the most dangerous surgeries you can have.
Wow.
So
I just don't even know what to say. This is all new to me. Obviously, I mean, wow. Is it really worth it to have to look like a certain way, like to look like these Instagram models that you're risking your life to change certain things about yourself? That's crazy. I didn't know people were dying from that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the side no one talks about. You
Right.
know, people kind of sweep that under the rug, like, oh, it was just that one person. But there's thousands of women who are dying or getting extremely sick, or paying all that money and they're not getting the results they expect, so they go back for more. And now what started as one surgery has turned into 10, and now you're even more botched than what you went in originally as. So got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's not going to come out. Doctors want to make their money. And if people are going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to do that, they all for it. And I don't blame them. And I think that that's why it's so important that, one, if you're going to do it, you educate yourself on it. And two, really just love yourself. Like, there really shouldn't be a need to do it. But I get that people go through the, not being confident within themselves. And like we said, like looking on social media and thinking that, I need to do this to be like this person or to get what I want. And it's not like that. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like, again, society plays a huge role in women dying because of this stuff.
And women go so far as even like having cosmetic surgery on their vagina.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that is the craziest.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. People are changing how their vagina looks now?
Rejuvenation.
Yes, you could have a vagina rejuvenation.
Holy shit.
Yes, they can snip the extra skin. Some women have,
make it look pretty.
When your labia, like,
yeah, your labia
out.
are a little longer. Some people get it, chopped up nice and short, make it look perfect, like a perfect porn star vagina. Women are really out here
trying to
trying to be perfect on all levels.
I'm sorry, man. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to make any of those comments. Sorry. I'm gonna read the chat room a little bit. I'm gonna refer to the chat room real quick. Shayna says people's emotions belong to them, including insecurities. It could be production of their own insecurities onto you. If people can't accept you for you, they don't deserve a space in your life. They don't know how to love them. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
B Liv Show says, good for you. Uniqueness is astounding. Cookie cutter body shop. Yeah, that's pretty much true. Meg says, self-confidence goes a long way. The most attractive bodies are the ones that are truly loved by the soul inside of it. Justice says, I appreciate hearing all this from a woman's perspective. Yeah, I mean, that's why I brought them on, man. I knew they was going to bring the heat. I seen the potential. B Liv Show says, relationships are built on inner person, not the superficial outer appearance. The relationship will be shallow and unfulfilling. No real true relating on a deeper level that stands the test of time. Confidence is self-assurance and loving yourself. Everybody's still talking about the whole thing about the vagina now. It's like at least about 5 comments on the vagina thing. My boy Dan said, what's the goal? I don't know, man. We don't know. My mom says butcher shop. Women are truly falling to low levels when they do that. Yeah, that's. First of all, I don't know. I've never heard of a man tell somebody. Obviously, I've worked on the construction sites. I worked with guys that have no filters at all, and I've never once ever heard a man say, "Oh, sorry, guy." I mean, this is let's talk it out, so we're gonna keep it real. I've never heard a man say that a woman has an ugly vagina. He didn't have sex with her because of that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Men don't care. Men,
They really don't.
They love your vagina regardless. Like, they are still going to do what they're going to do. It's the women who are insecure about themselves that think that it's a problem because they look at this porn and they see these vaginas and they think all the vaginas look the same. Like, in all,
to look like that,
right? In all actuality, we're all snowflakes.
I just want to say that as a man, If we're keeping it real, we're keeping it real because this is Let's Talk Out. This is my show. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I don't give a fuck what it looks like as long as it feels good.
Okay,
Right.
hey.
That's all
But,
that
but
matters.
that's it. That's it. Look, that's it. I'm not gonna go any. That's about as savagery as it's gonna come from me. Someone says I'm so confused. Laugh out loud. Just tuned in. Well, you should have tuned in from the beginning. That's your fault. Peru chick says I work in a doctor's office, and some women have done this. I'm happy with mine. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you guys schooled me on two things. I didn't know that people were dying from these surgeries. I had no idea that they were dying from these surgeries, and I did not know that they were changing how their vagina looks. I mean, that's. I mean, I get it. Some people might want to change like certain things, like their lips, I guess, or whatever, or something like that. But man, like just to change. I'm laughing at Justin. He's talking about some my guy. Isn't your mom in here? My mom knows I'm a 29-year-old man that's a heterosexual. So obviously, I mean, come on now. I didn't know that they were changing how it looks. And Meg says, and what man would argue with you? I don't know. I just want to, moving back on topic a little bit, I want you guys to tell me about a time where you felt like someone that you were dating kind of, and it may not have happened. I'm gonna start with Asia this time. I'm gonna start that way and go back to the right. I'm gonna start with Asia. Tell me about a time if you've dated a man and he like said something about you that he didn't really, like physically, like made a comment or something about something physically about you that he wants you to change.
I've never had a guy flat out give a comment about something that they wanted me to change. But like I mentioned earlier, I got a lot of comments specifically about my butt. I guess I date primarily black men, and black men don't really care about breast size. I've never really heard men complain about small breasts. It's more about butt. If your butt's too big or too small, they make comments about that. So I got more comments about having a smaller butt. And so that's kind of where my insecurity about my butt came from. Because I never had an issue with it on my own until multiple guys would but they would say it jokingly, just like they thought they were being funny, but in actuality, they were hurting my feelings. If you're dating me, I would assume that you like everything about me, whether it's big or small. But yeah, that's probably the number one comment I've gotten from men that I've dated.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dating somebody, obviously you like them. I mean, they. Yeah, I mean, there are things like you don't know what people are insecure about. You don't know what people take seriously when you joke with them. That's why you have to gauge people. You could tell when someone's getting offended by something you're joking about. I don't know how someone will keep going with you if you say someone says big butts are overrated, pants, shorts, bathing suits, all a struggle. I promise you. I mean, look, the grass isn't always greener. I guess I don't know, but I mean, yeah, we all have things about ourselves that we don't like, but it's like you just got to deal with it. Nobody's perfect, and you're your own biggest critic. That's the saying, right?
Yeah.
You're your own biggest critic. Going on to Jade now. Jade, tell me about a time where say a man made you feel insecure about a certain thing, about someone you was dating made like a comment or something like that.
I've never had anybody say anything specifically about me like changing my body in some form or fashion, but one of my exes did talk a lot about the way that I dressed. So I guess first of all, I'm a wear what I want to wear. Let's just put that out there. And I think everybody should wear what they want to wear, be who you are. So I would wear stuff that maybe showed my breasts. I would wear maybe like short shorts or a short skirt, tight skirt, whatever. And he would kind of make comments that were just inappropriate for somebody that you're dating. And I just feel like whether we're dating or not, like you should like me for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want you to tell me that you don't want me to go go somewhere dressed a certain way because you're insecure about yourself. That's not my issue. And I'm not going to be too disrespectful and be in other people's face when I'm, have like maybe my breast showing, things like that. But I just need you to be secure within yourself. So not necessarily my body per se, but more so how I dressed is what they had an issue about. But aside from dating, when I was younger, I used to actually have family who kind of pressured me when it came to my body image. So I had family who would tell me I'm too skinny. They would tell me baby, you need to gain some weight. Baby, you need some meat on your bones. Like, heard that all the time. And then now that I'm starting to gain weight, it's, ooh, you gaining weight. You good? Like, why are you eating so much? So it's kind of like, if I'm not secure within myself, I would let those comments get to me. And, you just can't. You got to just ride the wave yourself and be you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what you just said is a perfect example of why you need to focus on yourself and not care what other people say. Because their opinions do change. They told you were too skinny, and now they're telling you you're too big now.
Mm-hmm. And that leads to people having mental disorders. I mean, if I was to take every comment seriously, who knows? I would be bulimic. You know what I'm saying? I would be anorexic. So, yeah.
Yeah, the chat room is chiming in like they're going crazy. I was like, I posted in the chat room. I said this conversation is going left quickly. You love to see it. B Lift Show says beauty comes in many shades, sizes, and styles. Just own it and walk in confidence. That's basically what I be trying to preach to people. Chris says big butt, big breast, small breast. I like women. Period. If you pique my interest, then it doesn't matter. Women need to pay less attention to society standards of what the female body should be and take pride in their uniqueness. Absolutely, 100% agree. Be happy without comparing yourself to others. We have our own beauty. Dan says, when I was younger, I got a lot of comments from family about eating more, and then I started working out and got in good shape. Everyone was saying, like, Dan, what did you eat?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you were saying, Jay. It's like people always, they don't know what they really want to say or think.
Right.
So I don't want to leave Lori out. Lori. You know the question already. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard the question twice.
I'll shut up now. My bad.
You're fine. For me, honestly, I've never truly got like derogatory comments towards my features from men. If anything, it will be like not like my breast or my butt or anything like that. It will be like my forehead. Like I got a big forehead, so I'm like insecure about that. Or like I wear glasses. Like things like that is what they were talking to me about. But it has been instances where like I've gained a lot of weight in like a previous relationship, and he would make negative comments towards my weight, telling me to lose weight. I got too big, I'm too thick. And then when I lose all the weight, now I look great, or I'm too skinny, or, where did my butt go? Like those type of comments. But a lot of the most negative comments to me come from women, the women around me. They will tell me like, why your butt so big? Or like, girl, who do you think you are? Like just negative towards
like shaming.
Yeah, kind of shaming me for looking the way I look. Not saying that I look like perfect or anything, but I was always confident in what I looked like, and the people who brought me down were women.
Ooh. Sounds like jealousy to me.
I was just about to say, women project their insecurities onto everybody else.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I've done extensive research for a while, and I came up with the hypothesis that there are no pretty women that don't have a big forehead.
I agree.
I've done research. I've done my research. I've done my research. I went over the period of time from the 50s to 60s to 70s to 80s to 90s. I kept going, and it's like all the pretty women have a big forehead. And if someone could prove me wrong, then I'll greatly appreciate that. That means that they're a better scientist than me. But I've done my research.
Mm-hmm. I like that hypothesis.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Jade actually has a nice sized forehead, but she got a big head.
I do, yeah. It's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. I don't have a big forehead, but me
and Lori got the forehead.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like now that I said it, if you think about it, it's like, huh? It's like, yeah,
I just thought of 5 women off bat that got
right.
It's like one of those random things that nobody talks about. And it's like, but it's true. It's like, what the hell?
God is our leader.
Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks is the godmother.
Rihanna and Tyra Banks got the biggest forehead, but they are so beautiful.
No,
Yes.
I don't know, man, because Rihanna, man, her forehead is kind of, man, like, you know, if you got into a confrontation with her and she like headbutted you, it might be a wrap.
No.
She got that Spartan from 300 shield forehead. You know?
I just don't talk about Riri like this.
We gonna calm down on the forehead comments.
Don't talk about Riri.
All right, okay, I'm sorry. So back to the chat room. Peru Chick says, be happy without comparing yourself to others. We have our own beauty, self-acceptance, and not let society define you because they are not the measuring stick. God has made you fearfully and wonderfully made. Audrey says the women are haters because, you know, going back to what you guys were saying, especially you, Lori, it's true. People are laughing at what I said. Dan says I got a big forehead too. Couldn't hold my head up on my own till I was damn near 4.
Aww.
Vila Show says own it, big forehead and all. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the whole idea is just be comfortable with who you are, you know, become more accepting of who you are, because if you accept who you are, it doesn't matter what other people think, you know, even strangers or people that you interact with, like family or friends, you know, it doesn't matter what they think. You know, I was always told that I had a big head when I was younger, and I used to think about that shit all the time. And then I grew up, and now everybody calls me handsome. You know, it's just a matter of just becoming accepting of who you are. You know, you become subconscious because you get fed these seeds all the time. But you gotta just go ahead and just not let those seeds grow in your mind. You gotta push that away, and just, like I said, accept who you are, because it doesn't matter what anybody says about you. Because otherwise, like Asia said, you're gonna end up getting butt injections and die from chlamydia or something, or whatever she said earlier. Whatever she said earlier.
That works, but
she said something about like a blood clot or something like that. You know, whatever that was. But yeah, you just die. No matter how, you'll die. Okay, so don't get surgery or you'll die. No, I'm kidding. So switch the topic a little bit. It's the perfect opportunity to ask these questions because I have, you know, again, 3 very, very intelligent women. It's the first time I've ever had 3 guests at one time, and I've been waiting to have this kind of conversation. Recently, with the last few months, around the country, we've been having my mom saying, wow. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm kidding. You know, they're not going to die. Anyway, there's been a conversation with this country that's like a huge topic about this whole abortion thing. They try and take away people's rights to have an abortion. They want you to if you become pregnant with a child, you have to go through term with that child and give birth to it. And I want to say it's Alabama that started it off. I want to say I might be wrong. Yeah. Is it Alabama?
Yeah.
So, getting a little bit serious. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a perfect opportunity to have this conversation because you guys are here. You know, I'm obviously. I mean, the circumstances sometimes calls for it. I asked it on Facebook, and I had like at least about 80 comments from people saying, "Well, you know, if you have birth, it's a child, and you have to have it, you know. But what if this person was raped and they got pregnant from that? You know, what if this person's having health complications and they could die? You know what? I mean, you don't know the circumstances for the reason why that they're pregnant." Dan, shut up, man. I'm sorry. Just reading the comments from Charo. So I'm going to go. I mean, obviously, I pretty much have a good idea which way you guys are going to go with this, but I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Lori. Like, what do you think of these abortion laws that are coming up? Like, come on now. Give me a little bit of feedback.
Me personally, I think they're irate and unnecessary. I think that they have a lot of nerve to try to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her own body. And they go against the Constitution because I believe it says that you're, what is it, a consummate after the what? You're like a human, like it's not considered being after a certain amount of time.
Well, they technically are saying like you have 6 weeks, basically. Like if you after 6
Make
weeks,
your decision.
But what's the legal? Isn't it a legal point of the
technically
term?
when your baby has a heartbeat? But if you, it's if you really want to get technical and get scientific with it, the moment that egg meets that sperm, that's a living cell. Yeah, it's living. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, it's freaking ridiculous. I just think it's so ignorant. I think that they should not do that. I don't agree with it. I feel sorry for the women in Alabama. I think that that's just going to cause more like harm than good, simply because they're still going to get abortions. They're just going to do it the basement way, or they're going to do it in a way where they can harm themselves or others around them. Like, it's not good. I just disagree 100%.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you as well. Jade, let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're all going to agree that the new law in Alabama is, can I say fucked up? It's fucked up. The fact that they're wanting to overturn the Roe v. Wade and kind of have their own agenda behind it just tells you like the society that we live in right now. And like Lori said, like, I don't agree that anybody, man, female, whoever, should be telling me what I can and cannot do with my body, because for the instances that you said, in the case of rape or health complications or incest or whatever the case may be, I don't know. That's like somebody telling you what to do with your money. Like, that ain't none of your business. How you gonna tell me what I'm gonna do with my money? So I don't know. It's just the climate that we live in today is like I said, fucked up. And I know we kind of brought this topic up on one of our episodes where we talked about basically researching more on politics, making sure we research and educate on who gets into office, because there's an agenda behind what they're doing. And yeah, unfortunately, it's causing women to, like Lori said, have to go to like the basement route and potentially commit suicide, which means the suicide rate is going to increase as a result.
My mom says, I feel the country is regressing. We've gone so far to go back to the 60s view. I'm pro-life, but people have to be given a choice and exercise their power of choice. Is stripping women of their rights yet once again. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. I want to hear the medical terminology. So I'm going to go to Aisha. I need to hear all the medical terms and that kind of thing. Just go ahead.
Well, I'm no expert in the abortion realm. And I forgot to mention this earlier. I actually am a labor and delivery nurse, so I know a little bit about pregnancy and all that stuff. But I will say, I think it's absolutely disgusting that men specifically, and white men specifically, that are trying to tell women what to do with their bodies. I think it's disgusting. And I feel like we're losing just human connection at this point in life. Like, I feel like people don't treat each other like human beings anymore. And I feel like this is just going to create a whole nother set of problems. Like Lori mentioned, women are going to try to go the basement route to get abortions. That's going to cause a whole nother set of health problems. You're going to have more kids in the system with no homes and places to go. Or you're just going to have more kids that are born into families that don't really want them or can't afford to take care of them just because they can't get an abortion. So I just think this is actually really going to set us back drastically.
Like my mom said, back to the 60s, right?
Yeah.
And something I did read with the state of Illinois, I know they're not going towards the abortion route or whatever. I mean, no abortion. Yeah, the bill. Yeah. But I heard that they were cutting a lot of funding surrounding it. So like a lot of the prenatal care, the family aftercare, sex education, those fundings are getting cut tremendously. So that's another thing we probably have to look out for just in the future, which is still sad that they don't care about that anymore. Which goes back to show that Asia was right. Like, nobody is empathizing or wanting to be human anymore. It's all about control and power.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, if they force people to have these kids that are sick, what's going to happen when they have these kids that are sick? What are they going to need to go to? Hospitals, right? Doctors, right? You know, they're going to have to pay that money to get these kids taken care of, and pay for this medicine and stuff like that. I mean, it's all just like one big elaborate plan, like chess or something like that, in my opinion. Let's see. I mean, chat room is giving feedback. Chris says, rape, incest, health issues that could be fatal to the mother. These, in my personal opinion, are circumstances where abortion is acceptable, only because there are so many ways to prevent pregnancy if you lay down and use no kind of preventive measure. Yeah, I mean, again, I mean, like, that's why I say it's all about choice, because you don't know how these women got pregnant. You know, they're not all like with their boyfriends. They're like, oh, you know what, we're drunk, we don't need a condom. You know, again, it could be sexually assaulted. I mean, anything can happen for them. You know, I mean, it's crazy to think that they're forcing people to have these kids. Like, I can't imagine where you'd be at mentally to know that you were sexually assaulted by someone and you're being forced to have this child now because of that. Can you imagine? That's crazy to think about, that's where they're at down there. You know?
Yeah, and even in the case of you're using a condom, condoms are not 100% effective. So the condom can slip off, and to be shamed for that or to be guilted into it because a mistake happened is kind of messed up.
And then when you think about it, half of America can't afford health care anyway.
Already.
Yeah. So all of this funding that they're about to cut, like, they're forcing it at this point. So it's just sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I was just going to say, just from experience, just from what I see working with pregnant women, 9 times out of 10, the women that come in with little to no prenatal care are Black women. And it's sad to me. And a lot of it's because they just don't have insurance, or they have insurance and they have a doctor, but they can't make their appointments because they don't have transportation, a way to get there. I just see so many things wrong with Black women in pregnancy than I do any other race. So I'm just interested to see how all of this will play out.
Yeah, it's definitely, man, it's pretty sad to think about. Miles says we don't interact like human beings anymore because social media has taken that from us. Most of our interactions now are through an electronic media. The human element has been stripped. My mom says the money is always the root of all kinds of evil. Going back to my comment, what I said, I mean, that's why they're forcing people to have these kids anyway. You know, you try to get an abortion, but they're like, no, you get pregnant, you have to have this kid. I promise you, I mean, obviously it's not proven, but I guarantee you that it has something to do with money. Dan says, when I was in high school,
Oh, I just said 9 times out of 10, it's all about the money.
I mean, especially these politicians in Alabama, they don't care about these babies losing their life. You know, Dan says, when I was in high school, our sex ed wasn't even about education about sex. It was more so about the tolls relationships can have. I do remember sex ed in high school. All they showed you were like really gross looking pictures from STDs. That's all they showed you.
All I remember.
I was like, damn, that's what my dick's gonna look like if I have sex. It's like, that ain't it, man, at all. That ain't it. Meg says reducing those services will encourage pregnancy. This is an issue of population. It's all orchestrated. Chris says sex ed has been taken out of the schools here where I live, which I think is ridiculous because the town I live has a high rate of teen pregnancy as it is, and it's only going to get worse.
I remember when I was in high school, sorry to cut you off, but they had just taken sex education out the curriculum. So I was not taught sex education when I was in high school. And that wasn't that long ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. It was definitely at my school. But I feel like the way that sex education is taught, or was taught, because I don't even think they teach it anymore. It was more like they tried to scare you into not having sex instead of teaching you the reality of sex, like teaching you that, yes, sex is pleasurable and it's enjoyable, but you should be safe when you choose to do it. I think the way that it's taught is counterproductive.
Yeah. 100%. And I think that the system is kind of forcing it upon parents who already don't really have time to kind of like sit there and talk to their children. Not saying like parents don't ever have time for the kids, but it's a lot of situations where the parents hardly even see their kids because they're at work 12 hours out the day. And by the time they get home, they're going to eat and go to bed. So it's just sad all the way around.
It really is sad. Force people to have a child will increase the mental instability to our country once again. Extreme levels of mental and emotional destruction. Justice says we roll back our sex ed to the 92 curriculum away from the updated with gender identification and all that. They're going to be dead in a week and making these laws. Man, listen, this shit makes me furious. Justin lives in Canada, so he has free health care. Must be nice.
Right.
Shana says the people forcing these women to have children that cannot afford them or can't properly care for them or don't want them will be the first to bitch about increasing supplemental aid. Amen to that. Amen to that. Chris says agreed. Instead of trying to use a scare tactic, just be real about sex with these teens. Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, but I could, you got to have that conversation with them. That's what they call it, the conversation. Dan says bringing up parenting. We were threatened with death in my house if our mom found out we had sex.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I you know what? I'm gonna shut up because my mom's listening. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's just people. That's a form of slavery. How you force somebody to do something with their body? If they make a conscious decision I don't want to give birth to this child, you should not stop them from doing that. I mean, if they feel like they're not ready, the only thing you're doing is creating a bad situation for everybody involved, the mom, the dad, and the kid, by forcing them to have this child anyway. Even if they do have the child and give the child up for adoption, like, come on, man. Like, the foster care system in this country ain't worth shit. So, Justin says, I'm glad I tuned in here. What's going on across the border is wild and a whole different world. You know what, man? I'm just going to have to move to Canada, man, because you guys seem like you guys' biggest problem is the Raptors not winning the championship yet.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna have to move over there. I'm kidding. Kind of. So I just want to ask you, ladies. I mean, is there any last? I'm gonna start with what I started with Lori last time. I'm starting with Asia this time. Is there any last things you want to tell the chat room? Any last words?
No, I think I said everything that came to mind that I thought was important to say. But I definitely think this is an important conversation that people need to have, and especially with their children. We live in a very different world now, and it's time that we educate our children instead of shaming them and trying to scare them into not doing things, but just be real with them about what life is really like what is reality, like not sugarcoating things. But definitely, people out there, if you have children, please educate them and talk to them about what's going on and just help them be good human beings going forward. If we don't teach our kids how to be compassionate and empathetic, then our future is just sorry, but it's fucked.
Yeah.
So we really have to teach our kids just how to love one another and just be human.
Thank you for that. That's 100% true. Teach your kids how to love each other. Teach your kids to, be empathetic for other kids, man, that may not have it as good as them. Don't make fun of somebody for not being in the same situation that you're in. Darren says, tell them, girl. He agrees with you, Asia. Jade, I'm going to go to you now. Any last things you want to tell the chat room? Any last advice?
I mean, kind of piggybacking off of Asia, I think really with both of those kind of topics, the abortion and then kind of the social media impact, really it just comes down to being yourself. I mean, if you have to go through some soul searching revelation, if you have to talk to somebody about internal conflicts, if you have to, go to church, anything that you can do to kind of steer yourself down the right path, I think is what I want people to get from this episode. And for parents, I mean, so there are probably a lot of parents out there that are listening. For parents, it's kind of just encouraging your children to be themselves from the beginning. You encourage your child to be themselves and be free and be themselves from the beginning. You are creating a beautiful monster. So,
100%.
Thank you for that, Jade. Appreciate it. Justin, he's saying turn that all the way up. Everybody, I mean, they're appreciating what you guys are saying. Speak that truth. CB Fan says, excellent show again, Alec. Let's talk it out. Parents, children, and sexually active humans. I want to go to you, Lori. You know, you're the cap off. Any last things you want to tell the chat room? Let them know from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, just reiterating what these two ladies said, just love yourself. It all starts with yourself, and just understand that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and there's nothing wrong with you. Everything that you see on social media isn't the reality of who you are today, and you can always change yourself for the better in a way where it's natural, not necessarily trying to fit the image that everybody is portraying. So I just always believe, like, you know, love yourself. It all starts within, and then just work your way into growing into a beautiful human being. Also, people need to be more empathetic and understand that it is very important in life. Love conquers all. Seriously. And that's pretty much it.
I want to take the time out to thank you, ladies, for having a conversation with me on a Tuesday night. You guys could have been doing anything else, but you decided to come talk to me for an hour. You know, that takes a lot of patience to be able to do that. No, I'm kidding.
We appreciate you having us,
Yes,
honestly. Like, we loved it.
When someone first initially brought up the topic about, you know, society standards of what beauty is, you know, I immediately thought about you guys because, I mean, I've listened to you guys' podcast, and I feel like that you guys are, like I said, I mean, the topic you guys talk about and how passionate you guys get sometimes, I feel like you guys will be the perfect guest to come on and, you know, talk about it. You know, I want to hear different perspectives about it. And the abortion thing was random. I did not plan that at all. I did not plan that conversation, but I was like, since I have you guys here, let's have that conversation since you were here. Justin says, I'm always here if people need a voice as well. Thank you, ladies, for taking the time to share a part of yourselves with us tonight. My mom said the show has been great. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. She also thanks me too. Mom, you ain't got to thank me. I'm on every night. You can thank them.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Chris says, no one should ever be able to alter your self-esteem. My mom said, truth dispels every lie. It will stand every test of time. Darren says, thank you. Definitely. So, like I said, I mean, you guys are, I mean, I'm really grateful because, like I said, you could have been doing anything else, honestly. So, everyone that tuned in tonight, as you know, I'll be back in 2 days. Every Thursday, we do the show on Thursday. You guys know that. You know, we'll be back Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Guys having that good couple of days, I guess. I don't know. I mean, usually I say have a good week, but I'm talking to you guys in 2 days anyway. So have a good couple of days.